It's so amazing to me how so many people think that the Federal Reserve is there to help us, that is there to help the country, that is there to help the economy and to do the right thing at the right moment in order for the whole system not to collapse. It's crazy to me that people think that. And I mean, I understand it because that's what I was taught in school. We were taught that the Federal Reserve is this big entity that is a necessary part of the economy, and they pull the levers of monetary policy in the country and make sure that that they balance it with the government, and so that the whole thing doesn't fall apart. So it's understandable, but you look into the reason why central banks were created, and you look at the formation process that it went through in the United States, and you can see how they've been acting ever since they were formed. And you get a picture that's pretty clear that these guys are not, the Federal Reserve is not there to help us out. It's not. And I'm not saying that every single person, your friend that works in the Federal Reserve is an evil person. They're not. I think 99.9% of the people that work at the Fed are trying to do what's best for everybody, for their country, their company, themselves, and everybody. But 0.1% is enough if that 0.1% is some person at the top, right? Or if it's the original idea, the reason for the existence of that private bank. The purpose of the Fed is to transfer the wealth from the people of the country into the hands of a select few. That's their job. You see it happening right in front of your eyes. We just had a great example of this with the market crash. Coronavirus market crash. The market went down 30%, a little bit more in some cases. On average, it did. And people get scared and they sell, and they get out of the market, and they take their so-called money and run, right? But whenever you sell, there's people that are buying, and those people end up way ahead because they're buying low, and probably they're not selling at all. Whereas the average person who gets scared and says, I need to take my money out of there, they lose. Their wealth gets transferred. They take their wealth, they take their wealth out of the assets, the companies that they have purchased. When you're in a stock, you're not holding dollars. You're not holding dollars, you're holding assets. You're holding income-producing assets. So you take your assets, and you say, I'm going to trade this for dollars, okay? So now you're holding dollars, and you think, oh, dollars are safe because the money that I have, this $1, is not going to lose value anymore because the market's going to, like, the market goes down 50%, I still have my dollar. And then the Fed goes and does monetary policy and injects a bunch of money into the economy, right? And now all of a sudden, your dollar is not worth $1, it's worth 95 cents. But you still have your dollar. Oh, I still have this dollar in my hand. It's still $1. It's still $1. It hasn't become 95 cents. You're still holding a single dollar. But the value of that dollar has now dropped. It's now dropped. It's now less than what it was. But you don't even notice it. You don't even notice it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the genius of the Federal Reserve. That is their purpose. That is their intention. That is what they do. So if you fall for it, you've gotten played.